Easter is coming up, but the second coming already happened in 1985 when Wicket and the Dandelion Warriors, an Ewok adventure, was published. There is no need to own any other Star Wars book, or any other book for that matter, because this is peak fiction. This book is where the EU truly began. But what is Wicket and the Dandelion Warriors? Well, this is actually the novelization of Episode 4 of the 80s Ewok cartoon, To Save Deej. Deej nuts.
Yep.
But let's start with the cover. We see the titular Wicket having a valid reaction to the titular Dandelion Warriors. If that were me, I'm not ashamed to admit that I would probably cry and shit myself. Make fun of me all you want, but I'd like to see you go up against a Dandelion Warrior. Yeah, that's what I thought. On the back, all it says is it's based on the exciting new television series starring the Ewoks. But the show isn't new anymore. So this caption is just a lie. But let's get into it. Our story opens with Wicket, his father Deej, and Princess Nisa peacefully picking blum fruit in the forest. When all of a sudden, Wicket starts getting carried by thousands of ants back to their hole to eat him for dinner. Some Kingdom of the Crystal Skull type shit. Wicket is halfway in the hole before Deej and Nisa can pull him out, only for Deej to fall against a tree and slice his arm on a blue fungus. I'm 4 pages in, and Endor sounds like a nightmare hellscape. No sane person should ever go here. And I should point out the huge difference from the book to the original episode. Here in the book, they are picking berries. But in the original cartoon, they are actually fishing before Deej cuts his arm. People make a big deal about Labyrinth of Evil and the Clone Wars microseries contradicting each other, but no one ever talks about this for some reason. I wonder why. The Ewoks bring Deej back to the village, and he is rapidly aging by the second. He is actually going to die. Wicket's brothers Weechie and Willie go to Logray to tell him what happened. Logray tells them it's the fungus of the Rukna tree, and they head over to Deej's hut, but not before Willie drinks Logray's fizzy lifting potion. His dad is currently rotting away, but Willie's just goofing off as usual. Fuck you, Willie. Logray sends the 3 brothers on an adventure. To save Deej, they need to track down 3 ingredients. Willie needs to get the tail feather of a lantern bird, Weechie needs to get a frosh egg, and Wicket needs to get the star-shaped quill from the Dandelion Warriors. Willie spots the lantern bird nest, but you know his fat ass can't climb that tree. Luckily, he drank that potion earlier and is able to float up to it. Unfortunately, right before getting the tail feather, the mother lantern bird comes back and unknowingly sits on him. Meanwhile, Weechie is trying to get the frosh egg. He comes across a waterfall, and like all waterfalls, there is a secret cave behind it, where he comes across one of the eggs. But he gets chased by the giant lizards, so he dives into a stream for dear life. And then, in another part of the forest, Wicket comes across this strange creature called a guppin, who is tied up by the Dandelion Warriors. Wicket frees him, and they are chased by the Dandelion Warriors, who are able to shoot quills out of their heads. Wicket is able to find the star-shaped quill, and the 2 are both barely able to escape. Wicket makes it back to the village with the quill, but realizes that his brothers have not yet returned. Teebo and Nisa go with Wicket to help him find them. Nisa didn't come with in the original episode, meaning this book is clearly woke feminist propaganda. The group come across the nest, and they are able to persuade the lantern bird to give them one of her tail feathers. And Willie too, I guess. Next, they save Weechie, who is dangling on a tree branch over a waterfall. They worry that they won't make it back in time, but the guppin tells them to think of a large flying creature. Then all of a sudden, he turns into a giant bird, and they are able to fly back to the village. That is a crazy power to have. Logray throws the ingredients in the pot, and sprinkles the mixture on Deej. Yay, Deej is saved! He wakes up and gives Wicket a big hug. The end. Wicket and the Dandelion Warriors actually does expand the universe of Star Wars. You may have wondered what was going on before the Empire showed up on Endor, and now we have the answer. If you have to pick a book to read between episode 5 and 6, then let it be this one. Wait, the Dandelion Warriors were barely in this. Why are they on the front cover? That doesn't make it.